And I am back with another conversation with a gray area drinking coach. Welcome, everyone. My name is Jolene Park, and I lead a coach training for gray area drinking. Well, no, I lead a coach training for coaches and practitioners who want to become gray area drinking coaches, who want the nuance and the specific training to work with clients. So I started this training 5 years ago because coaches were coming to me saying, I'm certified, I'm licensed, I want to work with gray area drinkers, but I don't feel confident. Will you teach me what it is that you do and how you've been working with clients? Hi, Sheila.
Hi, Jolene. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, that's great.
Okay, great.
It's great. So I was just letting everyone know the little bit of the background when I started this training, which was 5 years ago, because coaches like yourself were coming to me saying, will you teach me what you've been doing when you work with clients? And so it really was out of request. And many coaches were saying, look, I'm certified, I'm licensed, but I just don't feel confident when it comes to working with a self-identified gray area drinker. And so that's why I created this training, to take coaches through the process with the intention that after the training, in the 7-week period of this professional development, that they feel confident and ready to work with clients and really take their business to the next level with this niche coaching that's in such demand. So welcome. Sheila Wolff is also the sober sorceress. Is that correct?
That's right.
Sober sorceress.
Yes.
On Instagram. I'm going to link your handle below, so you all go check her out and follow her. And I asked Sheila to join me today in the conversation with gray area drinking coaches to hear your story and your experience in the training. So why don't you start with just a little bit of your background and your story and how you came to be interested in starting to do this work?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm Sheila Wolff. I was born and raised in Wisconsin, which is a very heavy drinking culture. So I grew up with a lot of drinking, a lot of that's what we do, especially in the winter, and then in the summer as well, because it's like, oh, now it's nice. Now we have to drink and enjoy the summer. So it's just all around me, and was a big part of college, high school. And no one really thought that my drinking was out of hand. Like it fit right in with everybody else. But I started to notice that it was really not serving me as I got older, and started my own sober journey in about 2019. And then all kinds of things happened, and I decided to become a life coach. And then they just kind of happened at the same time, where I was like, oh, I could help women on this same track that I'm on. So a lot of it for me was about just trying to feel comfortable in my own skin, and like socially, and just as an introvert, just trying to fit in and find my place in the world and find some confidence. And unfortunately, I found myself reaching for alcohol to make myself feel that way. So that's kind of how I forced my way through my adulthood and when I was growing up. So not a lot of good coping mechanisms was how I kind of got started. But that's kind of like how it unfolded for me.
Yes. So you quit drinking for good in 2019. Did you have any other periods before then where you did some stops and exploration around quitting drinking?
Yeah, I had done like a dry January. I did that, I think, in 2018, and it was sort of like just to prove, oh, I don't have a problem. Look, I just did dry January. Kind of shallow reasoning, but it was still a success, and it showed me like, oh, I don't have to feel awful in the morning. And so even though I went back to drinking right after that, the seeds were planted. Like one of my clients says, once you become sober curious, you can't really become uncurious. It's like you can't go back in some ways.
Yeah, that's really, really true. So you quit drinking in 2019, and had you gone through your life coach training at that point?
No, that I did in
Okay.
2020. And at the time, and then I, sailed into moderation again at the end of 2020. I was like, wow, I've been sober a year. I can do this. And that lasted about 4 months. And I was like, I really don't see any benefits for me for alcohol. So that was really the end for me. And at the same time, I was doing my spiritual life coaching, and and then it just kind of came together. It was in 2021, then I started my coaching business with the intent of helping women find freedom from alcohol.
Yeah. I want to talk about your spiritual life coaching as well. And this is such the coach kind of demographic that comes into my training is the lifelong learner, really, wanting these different modalities and training and education. Just it feeds us personally, professionally. And then there's that personal story of gray area drinking. And so when all these pieces start to kind of marry together, there's this coaching demographic saying, I love these pieces. I have these certifications. I myself have gone through the personal process of questioning drinking, giving it up, identifying as a gray area drinker. And now I'm really passionate about helping others. And you're just such a great profile of that, really that demographic that of the coaches that come in. So tell us about the spiritual piece, because we had Chris down yesterday. She was talking about the creative side, and this is the spiritual piece. And as you know, in the training, I look at kind of the wheel of wellness where there's different vital nutrients. Nutrition is my wheelhouse and background, but it's not the only vital nutrient. Movement and leisure, the play, the creativity, the spiritual, relationships, community, emotions, all of these pieces. And what's really unique about the Master Gray Area Drinking Coaches is they all have these unique specialties. So tell us more about the spiritual side that you work with.
Yeah. That is really a beautiful thing about it, the way we all come in with these different pieces. And for me, I kind of underwent a spiritual awakening at the same time this was all happening. And it was a big part of my own sober journey as well, just kind of making these connections and feeling all these sort of awakenings and connections, and really getting excited about that and wanting to share that as well. And I didn't really find a path that resonated with me as far as my own spirituality, which is kind of what I've endeavored to create, as far as like following an earth-based spirituality, that I have sort of married that with my gray area drinking coaching now, where I've created this framework that I call the elements of sobriety, earth, air, fire, water, and spirit. And I kind of I found it really fit with kind of like the wheel that you were just talking about.
Yeah, I remember working on this because this is one of the things we do in the training is really help coaches flesh out then their positioning statement and their unique sauce, their expertise. And I remember that really came to you in the training of the earth, air, working with the elements and highlighting that. So tell everyone your experience then going through the training and how some of these pieces started to really blend and come together in a way before you did the training.
Yeah, so for me, the training really solidified what I consider to be the earth piece, which is our bodies, our lives here on the physical plane, with the nutrition aspect, the sleep, the somatic work, where I kind of almost glossed over it before with clients. It was like, it's important to eat well, and they'd go, yeah, I eat healthy, and I'd go, okay, good. But I didn't really have a lot more to say deeper than that. But this training delivered a wealth of knowledge as far as the nutrition piece, the nutrients, the neurotransmitters, and it really, I feel like the earth part of my program is like the biggest part now, which was something that I'm so happy about because it's so fundamental. It's so essential.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Those physical pieces, which I just feel like are the missing pieces when doing, you know, a lot of client work. So tell us about the other pieces.
Yeah. So earth is like the sober foundation, and then there's air is our thoughts. You know, the thought work and the mindset is important as well. And water is the emotional piece, the processing, healing, forgiveness, all the emotional things that come up when we stop numbing with alcohol. Fire is our vision, our creativity, our passions. And then spirit is, of course, our spiritual connection, very personal, how that looks for everybody, and and it's just about, you know, our connection to the universe, to others, to ourselves, to the divine. So it's just kind of a complete wheel of the elements and the wheel of life.
And how are your clients responding? Tell us about playing this out in the field now using, I think your model's just really beautiful.
Yeah, thank you. So it's really, I feel like it's just my own confidence that I bring to the process, and really uh, having some very science-based, evidence-based things to bring to my clients, steps that they can take, the practical stuff that they can take with them and go try this, and you know, what do you notice when you try this, and being able to give them just very concrete action steps, as well as the more creative, you know, it all kind of goes together. There's like the journaling, the meditation, but then the, you know, try eating this, or try, you know, if people want different supplements. It's just a more complete picture, and it's definitely being reflected in my clients' results.
Yeah, I love seeing the progression that you've gone through, and I can see the confidence that you've stepped into, which again is such my intention with this training, for to really nurture that and let that bloom within each coach. Because coaches, you all come in with your gift, and then it's just really building that confidence to spread your
Yeah.
wings and fly. So tell everyone listening in. I know you came in kind of right at the end, right as we were just getting ready to start the last coach training. So tell everyone kind of maybe a little trepidation coming in, or where you were coming in, and then how you felt after the 7-week training.
Yeah, so I was kind of having a crisis of confidence at the time that I joined. I was searching. I felt like I wanted another certification, like you said, lifelong learner. And I felt like I had a missing piece when it came to my coaching. So I was researching, doing some, you know, different vetting of different certifications, and I suddenly remembered yours. I had been following you for years, even before I was a coach. And I thought, I know that she has this coach training. And if I'm looking to invest right now, why don't I look at that? And the timing was perfect. You were recruiting coaches, you were starting another cohort, I think just like 2 weeks later or something. And it was like the perfect timing, and it just could not have been better. And it was exactly what I was hoping for. It was what I was seeking, because this is a big deal, helping people with this. You want to know the science behind what you're talking about. You know, you can have the spiritual piece and all of that, but there's also a science behind it, and very real things that I felt a responsibility. In order to be a confident, competent coach, I felt a responsibility to really know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, I've just watched you over the weeks step into that confidence. And I think you posted in the group coaching Facebook group about, was it kind of the first week, or just this like aha?
Yeah.
I kind of forget what you posted, but that you really were at a bit of a crisis, like a real pivot in the road
Yeah.
with your coaching.
Yeah, I was definitely, I was, you know, when I say I was kind of a crisis of confidence. It was like, do I know what I'm doing? Is there someone that is really going to help me be able to, help people? That's what I wanted, was to help people. And I just felt a little unsteady on my feet as a coach. And then the first week I was like, this is it. I found it.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you. Thank you. What was your favorite part, or what was the most maybe eye-opening, that like aha going through the training?
I would say the neurotransmitter piece for me was probably the most impactful, and now being able to assess that with clients, and they're always like, wow, it really hits home with clients too, when they can do the assessments and get the recommendations and find those tangible steps that they can do. So that's got to be my favorite, but I also have to say maybe the somatic experiencing pieces. Those have been most profound for myself, as well as just things to add into my daily practice that have been huge game changers. And, once you experience it and you get excited about it and you tell the clients about it, and it just spreads. It's so impactful.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I can hear it's like your energy shifted right there. There's that, like, we want to know, what is it? What was that piece? And that's, as you know, I talk so much about that in the training, that it's not just this theoretical, do as I say, run, 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 not as I, here's the theory, here's the, like, it's like, okay, hang up the phone. I'm not going to do anything as a client. So it's that embodied piece, but what does the embodied piece mean? And that's what we go through and really experience throughout to find. There isn't a formula, but there are things that resonate with different biochemistries, with different constitutions, different physiology, and we have to try it and notice to see where the match is. But we have to do it first with ourselves, and it's just so important, because that training isn't happening. The other side of this is coaches were coming to me saying, will you train me on your method? But the other reality is my one-on-one clients over the years, the last 7 years, have been in the healthcare field. Coaches themselves, nutritionists, doctors, nurses, therapists, social workers, because we've got all the theory, we've got all the book smart, but it's the practical application. And you can hear it in people's voices, just like you said right there. It's like people perk up when that practical application drops in. It's exciting for the coach and for the client.
Yeah. And I like to think of it as we're all putting our own puzzle together. None of our puzzles are exactly the same. And I'm putting mine together as same time I'm helping clients put theirs together. And I can say, hey, I have a piece that might fit your puzzle. And it's really exciting when they make those connections.
Yeah, absolutely. So for those who maybe just have joined in, I'm talking with Sheila Wolff, and she's one of my master gray area drinking coaches who works with some of the elemental pieces, the nature, spirituality, earth, you have to say it for me, earth, fire, air, water?
Water and
Yeah.
spirit. Yeah.
Yeah. And so as you're listening, I'll be interviewing some different coaches over the next couple of days. Christy yesterday talked about the creative piece. Sheila has the spiritual piece. Different coaches have different pieces, and our nervous system will resonate with those pieces. There's no right or wrong, should or shouldn't do, but where we are, different reasons and seasons, our nervous system needs different nourishment. And so if you're listening to Sheila and seeking some of that spiritual piece of the coaching with a real foundation, first of all, in her background with life coaching, and then the science of the gray area drinking, Sheila has just a really beautiful combination and offering with all of these pieces. So
thank you.
Go ahead. What else? What did I not ask? Or, I always say this with clients, like, what else is there that we missed or feels really relevant to this coach training conversation?
I think just if anyone's on the fence about taking the training, I 100% recommend 100%. And if anyone has any questions about it, feel free to DM me. I can, give my experience. I think it's also in your stories right now. The written testimonial that what I had to say about the program. So definitely, if you feel like you have that missing piece in your coach education and training, this is it if you are serving gray area drinkers.
Thank you. Thanks, Sheila. Yeah, you gave a beautiful testimonial. If you all haven't seen it, it's still up in the stories. And I will link your handle below this recording. So everyone watching, go follow Sheila, check her out, check out her offerings. Tell us about your offerings and how you're working with people right now.
Yeah, one of the best ways to connect with me is to sign up for my free guide. It's called the Sober Curious Women's Guide to Quitting Drinking. And that kind of enters you into my world, and you're invited to join my Facebook group, the Sober Sorceress Society. We've got over 900 women in there. It's an amazing, supportive community. And of course, I also offer one-on-one coaching for clients who need that that level of support and guidance on their journey. So that's my favorite way to work with people.
Awesome. Awesome. Sheila, what's your favorite personal practice right now of regulating your nervous system?
Oh, great question. So I have a very sort of elaborate morning routine, but right now it's yoga. In the morning, I'm a walker in the summer, and I practice yoga in the winter when it's cold here. And I know that was one of my big goals when I entered your program, was like, how am I going to transition, because it was fall and I had never successfully done that before. And usually kind of mentally, I used to fall apart in the winter, but we worked on that as well in the training and got me on the right path. And I'm truly enjoying just daily yoga, just that connection to body, breath, spirit, mat, all of that. So that's really, really fulfilling me right now.
Yeah, because you were really navigating kind of this seasonal affective disorder, the anticipation of stepping into wintertime, and you've had a pretty smooth winter, right?
This is the first time I can remember that I've had a pretty smooth winter. I'm really thriving this winter, and I really think it's because of all that I learned in your program, applying it to myself, and then just really feeling more confident in my practice with my clients, and just coming out just really thriving from all of that.
Oh, I just love it. And again, everyone watching, Sheila came into the training. We started at the end of September 2022 at a real crisis in her business, of coaching and really kind of questioning the process. And look at you now. Not only is your coaching thriving, continuing in full operation, but what you have personally implemented and your practices, and it's just it's like a completely different Sheila, this shift from when you started the training. And it's barely been a half a year at this point.
Yeah, I can't thank you enough, and highly recommend.
Oh, well, thank you. And and I hear that so much, first of all, with clients, because using this method, using those resources, things can shift very quickly. I see it all the time with clients in 30 days. And it's the same training coaches, that once we drop in this practical application, these missing pieces, things shift very quickly with coaches and their businesses. Often coaches make back their investment for the training before the training's even ended. And it's only a 7-week training. So the shift is there, that physical shift, energetically, however we want to talk about it, but things start to move, and it serves everyone.
Absolutely.
Yay. All right, so your Instagram handle is the Sober Sorceress.
Yes, it's sober.sorceress.
Okay.
And all the links to everything I mentioned are up there in the bio.
All right, so go check her out, give her a follow. Sheila, like all of my coaches, are very open to DMs, conversations. If you want to hear more from that firsthand experience from alumni who has already gone through the training, reach out to Sheila or any of the other alumni, and then submit your application to me. It's in my bio on Instagram. I am reviewing applications and setting up interviews now. The next training cohort, this is the 5th year, and I think it's like the 12th group that I've run. And I, again, I've continued coaching clients through all of this. So I'm not teaching from theory, kind of like in theory, here's how to coach. Like I'm with clients and then I turn right around and, train my coaches. So, and we do that. We do the clinical application, the case studies. Coaches get to hear recorded phone conversations, coaching conversations with permission from clients. They look at actual case studies from my actual clients. So it's very practical, very real time, literally, of here's what I'm seeing right in the coaching process that I just talked with a client 2 days ago, and I bring it right into the training. So that's a differentiator that I bring to this. So I'm reviewing, receiving applications, setting up interviews for coaches. If you're a certified coach and interested in learning the Nourish method to work with gray area drinkers, I look forward to receiving your application.
Yeah. And those are really key, those actual coaching calls that you get to listen to as a student, and then going over the case studies. That was so helpful to me. That was so valuable.
Yeah. I want to make it as real time. Basically, I designed the program, and it's like if I could have had somebody train me, because I piecemealed, I had my coaching background and I just kind of hit the ground running. Annie Grace was sending me clients early on. She and I knew each other in 2015. And then it was, in retrospect, if somebody could have taken me through the practical application, how would I have wanted that to unfold? And that's how I created and design and teach this training. So very practical, with the intention for coaches after 7 weeks. And I think, all the alumni say that they do feel that confidence and they're ready to go, and they do. You all launch, and it's beautiful, and to really serve and support the gray area drinkers out there.
Yeah, definitely.
So thank you, Sheila. Thanks for your time and your energy and sharing your story. Everyone watching, go give Sheila a follow, check out her info and her offerings, and I'll see you soon, Sheila. Thanks for joining me.
Yeah. Thanks so much, Jolene.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye for now. Bye, everyone. Thanks for joining.